This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1271 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by Uncle Jimmy's. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the monthly Mary Kitzmiller training episode on horses in the morning. This time she talks about what ending on a good note really means when you're training your horse. And we'll get right to it after this from Uncle Jimmy's. Uncle Jimmy's Hanging Balls and Licky Things help combat stall boredom by providing your horse entertainment in the stall, while at the same time providing them with much-needed minerals and nutrients not found in other treats. Uncle Jimmy's has training treats covered, too, with Uncle Jimmy's Squeezy Buns. Every deliciously soft, squishy treat is individually wrapped for freshness, so your pockets won't get gummed up. Ask for Uncle Jimmy's Hanging Balls, Licky Things, and Squeezy Buns at your local tack and feed supplier, or you can go online to uncle-jimmys.com.
Well, we're going to dive in to the deep end with Mary's training tip this month. And what are we talking about?
Well, this is about something that we all learn growing up, training horses and in other parts of life too, and that's ending on a good note. And I was thinking about this the other day, having a conversation with someone about their horse. And I realized I think a lot of people have come to misinterpret what ending your training session on a good note means, especially if that training session is not going very well. What it meant to me for a long time is if I'm working on something and it's not going quite as I expected, that I couldn't get off and finish the ride until I got a win, until I got the horse to do the thing I wanted, even if it was a little bit. Well, you guys have probably all been there where you're working on something. Maybe it's something your horse already knows. Say I'm working on lead changes, and for some reason, every time I ask for a lead change, my horse kicks up. So I keep working on it because I don't want him to kick up in a lead change. And then I ask harder, and then he kicks up more. And then pretty soon, we didn't mean to get here, but we're in an all-out head-to-head battle of you don't kick up, I don't want him to kick up, he doesn't want to work on lead changes. And it becomes sort of well, who's going to win here? And the problem, especially if you're working on a really high-energy maneuver like that, is the more I drill him, the more cantankerous he's going to get. And then he's going to get tired to where he physically can't give me a good lead change. And so, but it's very easy to sort of go down that path and get really stubborn of, no, I asked for this, you should give it to me. And I think in my mind, what I learned is even if I did get a good lead change that day, that wasn't ending on a good note because I'm frustrated and mad, and my horse is tired and mad. And I mean, that's not ending on a good note.
And now hates lead changes.
Oh, yes, exactly. Now, every time you ask for a lead change, he's going to remember that day and remember how hard it was and how hard he had to work. And he's going to be a little resentful about it. So sometimes ending on a good note doesn't mean winning. It's not a win or lose battle type of deal. Sometimes it means, all right, you know what? I really wanted to work on this today. It's not going down the way I planned. Before we go down a bad path, let's just stop and let's find something that we can both win at. So maybe I need to just stop my horse for a bit, let him air up, both of us regroup. I take a breath, he takes a breath. Okay, let's go work on something we can win. Well, why don't we go across this little bridge over here I have set up? Because that's easy. You enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it. It's low energy. It's not going to tucker you out. Let's work on that and make it the best thing that we can. And then I'm going to put you away. I'm going to think about it all night and how I can come out tomorrow and help you with these lead changes. And I tell you what, when I've done that, when I finally, just kind of stops that cycle of going at each other trying to get something figured out, then I'll put my horse up. I didn't get the lead change I wanted. I'll be thinking about it all night. How can I help my horse figure it out? I tell you what, 9 times out of 10, I come back the next day. I ask for it when the horse is fresh. We've both had a night to think about it, and it's perfect. It's like I never had a problem with it.
So the key is, don't get halfway there and say, okay, I'm going to, he figured this half out, I'm going to leave on a positive. You're saying, because that's not necessarily accomplishing anything either, because they haven't accomplished what you set out to do. They've only half-heartedly or half accomplished it. You're saying switch gears, do something completely different, and end on that.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to get at is, if you feel the ride going down that path to where, it started out okay and you wanted to get it just a little bit better, but what's happening is it's getting worse, and now your horse is getting a little tired and he's getting a little cranky about it, you never want to get into a fight. You will never win that fight. Physically, you can't win that fight, and even if you do, quote unquote, win and you get your horse to do the thing you wanted, it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get there, and it shouldn't be like that. It should just kind of happen. And so if you feel yourself kind of going down that path of, oh, okay, we're going to start throwing punches at each other because it's just not working, change direction, do something else. Find something you can work on that you can win at. So maybe not going over a bridge, but you know what? I think maybe the reason your lead changes aren't working, I don't think I have good hip control. Why don't we just tone it down, go back to the beginning? Let's just work on pushing your hips over. Get that really good. Get that soft. Get that relaxed. Let your horse work on that. And then come back and try again tomorrow. So just because I didn't get the lead change I had in my head when I put my foot in the strip, that doesn't mean that I didn't end on a good note. That doesn't mean that I didn't win. And even if you're not as advanced as to the point of working on lead changes, sometimes you'll get on a young colt and things are not going well and you feel unsafe and you've got a voice saying, get off the horse. That's your survival instinct telling you that you need to take care of yourself. And that doesn't mean you've let the horse win. When you get off, work on some groundwork and then try again tomorrow.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guests as well as lots more tips at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure to have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go by downloading the free Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. You can also subscribe via iTunes. And thanks again to our sponsor, Uncle Jimmy's. This is Coach Jen, and I'll be back again soon with another tip. So until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.